Hello. Hello.
These palm trees, they sway, but each night and each day I'm California dreaming about you. Oh yeah, got this world-class view, but it's you that I think about every time when my mind's on it. And it's you that I think about every time when I feel alone. And it's you that I call on my FaceTime when I need something real. Oh yeah. Work the night shift till late in the PM. I'm California dreaming. Yeah. You. California dreaming about you. Dreaming. California dreaming about you. California dreaming about you. California dreaming about you. California dreaming about you. California dreaming.
For action. Hello and welcome. Yeah. I was on the Aces and yeah, that ended, so I thought I'd start a stream up. The link is in the side chat if anyone wants to join. I think I've pinned it. Just give me a minute. Yeah, if anyone wants to join. Uh, yeah. So I don't really have a lot to talk about. Also, yeah, I've got a lot of messages on my phone. Uh, Plus, I'm waiting for my tea. My mum's cooking my tea, so you took my rage for no reason. Oh, right, we're gonna sort this out. Oh, but no. Oh yeah. Oh no, Trusty Ape doesn't have a wrench either. Yeah, we can sort that out. That doesn't matter at all. No, I didn't take your wrench, Pixie. It's because it's a new channel. I never gave you a wrench on this channel, but I will do. Yeah, sorry. That's Yeah, so welcome all. As always, I don't really have a lot to talk about. There actually has been like a lot going on in my life, but I don't know how interesting that will be. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for people to join, but yeah, I don't know whether to do karaoke in between or not. And I hope Jill doesn't. I like Jill. Don't get me wrong. I like Jill, but it's just when he joins the stream. Do you know what I mean? It does tend to kind of degenerate into. Yeah, I know, Pixie, and I know what you mean, but I find it difficult not to. Yeah, I like everyone. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Oh, but we were all right. We were talking about Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons, so I might just do a karaoke. I think. Although they did have very high voices. You know what I mean? Right, this is the one that I know the most. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sing. Yeah, musical interlude. Yeah, coming up. Yeah, and I apologise for this in advance. Yeah, right window. That one. That one. That one. We might as well get the copyright strike over with to begin with. Do you know what I mean? Girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Girls don't cry. Yeah, yeah. They don't cry. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. Girl. Ay, ay, ay. My oh my. I wonder why. Oh my girl, we had to break up. On that she would call my son. When you said to my surprise, big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Ay, ay. They don't cry. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. Get in. Baby. I was through. Baby. I'm such a fool. Silly girl. Shame on you, your mama said. Shame on you, you cried in bed. Shame on you, you told a lie. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. Big girls don't cry. That's just an alibi. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry. Big girls. Oh, that's it. So. Yeah, I'll get that lined up for the next one. I'm not doing it now. But.
Get more chances with Paddy Power Games this Cheltenham. Guaranteed prizes today on Paddy's Wonder Wheel.
Yeah, take on me. Right, we'll do that next, but not now. Stop sharing. Right. Yeah, so if anyone wants to join, link is in the side chat. Yeah, not been bothered to do the description yet. But. Oh shit, Jill there. Ah, fuck. Oh boy, please get some help. You shouldn't be this obsessed with another man. something or someone is lacking, perhaps. Yeah, not exactly sure what that means. Oh boy, please. Oh, I think Jill thinks that I'm obsessed with him. No, no, I'm not. Yeah, Jill, I don't think about you when you're not here. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's obvious that Jill is obviously like closeted gay. You know what I mean? He talks about homosexuals so much. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Jill. I don't want to talk to Jill, and I don't want to talk about Jill. Welcome, Tog. Good to see you. I'll just check that you're a moderator on the channel. Oh yeah, yes you are. Go sleep, go sleep, bitch. If you're tired. Oh sorry. Oh yeah, that's it. You better be quiet and go sleep. Yeah, Jill, just shush, shush. I also good to see you. Yeah, a weird clown. Yeah. Right, but I do have to go to the bathroom, which is just behind me. So I'll be right back. Welcome, Joe. How's it going?
Well, why is um why is Jesus wearing it?
Cause it, cause it's Jesus.
I get it now. Huh? No,
Jesus.
that's
Yeah.
quite clever. I
Yeah.
have to
Jesus.
admit.
How's it going on? What's going on?
Yeah, so you on Ace's channel earlier.
Yeah.
How'd it go? Did you defend me?
I can't see. I can't see that ever happening. No.
Got him riled up pretty good, huh?
So Jill, what do you want to debate today? What nonsense?
Oh, whatever's on your mind. I got about half hour, maybe
Right.
half hour to an hour. Well, maybe I'll take an hour.
What lunch break? Oh,
Aliens. We already talked about resurrection. Your best explanation. You think the most plausible solution to the empty tomb is aliens. All right, so we can.
no, no, Jill.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No,
All right.
no.
Okay, correct me. I'm sorry. Correct me.
You said there is no other solution to the minimal facts argument other
Yeah,
than
no. I said the most plausible was God. You said the most plausible you think would be aliens.
no, no. Originally, if you go back and check the video, you said therefore the only solution to the minimal facts argument is that Jesus resurrected from the dead.
Resurrected, right? Proving that he's God, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying
Right.
is, if you're saying that that's the only argument, I was just coming up with another one. I'm not saying
I
it's the
said I
most
said
plausible.
plausible. I said that's the most plausible. You said the most plausible was that aliens came and stole the body.
Which it
Okay,
is.
okay, all right. So we can move
No,
on to
actually,
something.
no, I'll go
So,
back and no, I'll go back and defend my claim because
all right.
aliens are
You don't need to
natural.
defend it if that's what you believe. Then
Yeah,
I'll accept that. If that's your faith, you can have that belief. That's fine.
no, because aliens are natural. We know the
That's
natural
right.
exists. We
I've
don't.
heard your explanation. I've heard your explanation.
Jill,
That's fine.
can you stop interrupting me? Can
Okay,
you
go
let
ahead and explain again your reasoning as to why you believe that's the most plausible explanation for the empty tomb. Go ahead. Let's hear it again for the fifth time. Saying it 30 times is not going to convince me it's more plausible than my solution to the issue. But go ahead.
have you finished?
Go ahead, Wahar.
Right. The alien explanation is more plausible than the supernatural explanation because aliens could be natural. We know the natural exists. We don't know the supernatural exists. Therefore, any natural explanation is more plausible than a supernatural explanation.
Okay. Thank you for not making any sense because we don't know if it's purely supernatural or did Jesus have some sort of technology that you don't have. Just like you think there's alien technology that there's no evidence for, Jesus could have had some technology that God used. So just because we don't understand it or we don't have that technology,
Technology.
hold on, let me finish. Just because we don't have that ability to resurrect from the dead now doesn't mean that in 3,000 years we won't have that ability. That Jesus might have had information that we don't have now. So it might have been a natural phenomenon, and God used a natural phenomenon to raise him from the dead, one that is far more advanced than our natural phenomenon. Go ahead.
Right. So you're saying that God didn't. So
No,
it wasn't super. God didn't raise Jesus from the dead supernaturally. He raised
it,
him
we
naturally.
call it supernatural
Given
because we haven't yet discovered how it was done scientifically. So once we're able to explain the phenomenon scientifically, which is really all we're doing, we don't understand gravity. We can just say, hey, this is the effects of gravity, but we really don't understand what gravity is or g forces are. So once that is technology is now we're able to experiment on it once we discover it or uncover it, I would say, because it's already there perhaps, then we can give a scientific explanation for it. Just like with your alien theory, there is no scientific evidence for an alien theory.
cheers, Peter.
So, but yet you believe in an alien coming and stealing the body. So so you really haven't moved the proverbial ball forward by saying my theory is better because it's a natural theory. No, it's not. It's not a natural theory. There is no theory of aliens. There is no natural or scientific theory of aliens. Never has,
Yeah, there
never will
is.
be. I would say
Yeah, aliens could exist.
could exist. Well, a
Could exist.
natural resurrection could exist. You see, because
So you're saying
we would
so
say
you
that the aliens are supernatural. We believe the aliens are actually supernatural beings. We call them supernatural because they're from another realm.
aliens. So
Yeah,
you're saying that aliens are supernatural beings.
yeah, yeah. They could be. Yeah,
What what would make them supernatural?
the fact that they're from another realm, another dimension. So they're not from this this dimension. They're from another dimension.
No, alien just means from another planet. It doesn't mean supernatural.
No, it doesn't have to be
Mm,
another planet. It could be
yeah.
another realm or another
No.
solar system or another a place in which there's a different formulas. You'd have to calculate and reformulate all of your scientific experiments would now be different. The formulas would be different. The formula for velocity, the formula for um, time and how we track time could be different in this other realm. So
No,
that's alien to us. That's foreign to us.
Trusty makes a good point. That's extraterrestrial, not supernatural. Aliens, by definition, they will live on another planet in this universe.
You don't okay
Aliens will
in this universe.
Yeah.
How many universes are there?
I don't know.
Okay, then. So
one
is it then does it then become supernatural if it's in an alternate universe? Is that then supernatural? What makes it supernatural?
That wouldn't be. Aliens would just come from another planet. That doesn't make them supernatural.
In this universe or in another realm.
That doesn't make them supernatural or from another universe.
Okay.
Aliens would just be from another planet, extraterrestrial.
Are they silicon based? How do you know? What would you consider to be supernatural?
Beyond nature.
Beyond what nature? The nature that you know of. The only nature that you know of is this one.
Yeah.
You only know of this nature.
In this universe, the nature that we are.
In this universe. So if it's in another universe, is it a different nature?
No, I would consider other universes wouldn't be supernatural either.
Okay, here's the definition. Here's your definition of supernatural.
Yeah.
Since you want to play these games. Your definition of supernatural, according to Google, your Bible, is attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding or beyond the laws of nature.
Yeah, so is God supernatural?
He is beyond scientific understanding, yes.
Yes. So if he's beyond scientific understanding, why do you believe in him?
The same reason why you believe in aliens that are beyond scientific understanding. You have no scientific understanding of what an alien is.
Oh, whoa, Jill. I don't believe in aliens. I'm saying it's
said possible. That was a plausible. You said that explanation is plausible or reasonable.
I'm saying it's possible that aliens exist. That doesn't mean that I believe in aliens.
It's possible. So it seems reasonable to believe that an alien.
No, I don't believe aliens exist. I'm just saying it's possible.
Okay. Well, what if I said the alien was God himself, who is beyond scientific understanding or the current laws of nature?
Did you just say that God?
That's the definition of supernatural, sir.
Did you just say that God is the universe?
What definition of supernatural are you trying to employ or use here?
Are you a pantheist?
Okay. What definition of supernatural are you using, sir? The definition of supernatural would fit your alien theory. These aliens are beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature. Otherwise, we would have discovered them.
Beyond the natural. That would be supernatural.
Okay, so your aliens are beyond. You don't have any understanding. You don't have any scientific understanding.
No, we can understand how aliens.
How you've never seen one. You've never experimented on one. You never observed one. So how do you know that they're not beyond or they are within the curtails or within the motif of what you understand scientifically? Are you saying they're silicon based? Are you saying they're based in one of the elements that we have discovered on our planet? How do
No,
you know how do you know what the laws of nature are in the realm that they came from? You don't even know. You have nothing to base it on other than this is just a better explanation than Jesus because I don't want to accept the resurrection. So I need to come up
Jill,
with
any,
eight
any,
men. I need to
anytime,
come up with 8 men walking. That's basically what Darwin did. As an
Jill,
alternative to the creation story, he came up with his own. Not based in science, not based. It's
I
beyond
think
scientific understanding, and it
we
still
might
is.
be going ball. Sorry, Jill, what were you saying?
All right, so
I,
let's move on
I
to the
think
next
I think I might be
debate.
going ball.
Your aliens are supernatural, so is Jesus. So we can
No,
replace your aliens with.
aliens wouldn't be supernatural.
Oh,
If
according
beings
to what
exist on the,
definition? How do you know that these beings are based in any scientific understanding of the world we
I'm
have
not
today? How do you know that? You're
I'm
just
not saying
assuming they are. You're just assuming they are from another planet and that they are based in the science that we have on this planet or in this realm. You're assuming that. You don't know that. You don't know where these aliens are from. You don't know how they arrived here. You don't know what they're based in, what they're made out of, silicon, uh, the basic proteins, molecules that make up our being. You don't know if that's the same there. Or you don't know if they're made up of any gases. You don't know what they're based in. You're just assuming that they came and took the body, and or that's the best explanation. That's a supernatural That's a supernatural claim, according to the definition of supernatural. Now, if you want to change the definition of supernatural to something else, then go ahead. But you're making an assumption. It's beyond the laws of nature. Aliens are beyond the laws of nature. In fact, the simple fact that they got here would mean they're beyond at least our laws of nature, because we can't go too far outside of our little atmosphere, right? We can go to the moon. Some people say we didn't even go to the moon. So aliens would be supernatural until we were able to understand them scientifically, or at least explain them. That's all we're doing. We're just explaining them. We don't have a scientific explanation for gravity. We're just describing its characteristics. It's what is gravity? Is gravity supernatural? Do you know what gravity is?
Oh, sorry. I was just waiting for you to finish. It took an awful long time.
What
Was
causes
that
things to fall?
was that a genuine question?
Yeah,
Right. What was the question? I was just waiting for you to finish
it's
speaking.
an invisible force. That's what gravity is.
Right. So you've asked the question and also answered the question. Were you asking for me my opinion, or did you just
I'm
want
not
to
asking
answer?
you for your opinion.
No. Okay. So what
Gravity
was
is
it?
an invisible force, isn't it?
Invisible force? Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's what keeps you on the ground, what makes things fall, right?
Yeah.
But what is it?
It is. Yeah. Mass. Something to do with mass. Yeah. It's attract. Mass attracts things, and that's how gravity works.
Well,
What's
according to Einstein, it arises from the warping of space time, right? The
Yeah.
interlapping of space time, I guess.
Yeah. So what's your point? Sorry,
Well,
I tuned out
it,
after like 5 minutes of the Jill just talking
so the fact
bullshit.
that we can explain it doesn't. I mean, you can include that as a natural phenomenon if you want to, but I mean, just because you can explain it doesn't mean you know what it is. Like I know what an apple is.
So are you
It's a
saying that
physical thing.
Are you saying that gravity is supernatural?
No, it wouldn't be considered supernatural because you can explain it. Because you can see its effects
Ah,
on
right.
on
So
on
you're
you could
no,
you could
Jill.
see
Sorry,
its effects
Jill.
on
Just,
natural
just.
objects.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your definition of supernatural is anything that can't be explained.
No, that's Google's definition of supernatural. Let me get
No,
it for you.
that's what you just said.
No, I read the definition.
That's what
Attributed
you.
to some force beyond scientific understanding or beyond the laws of nature. So, because we can explain gravity or we understand it, even though we don't really, we just understand its effects, what it does to, natural things. It moves, it
Yeah.
falls, natural things fall, and they are affected by gravity. Um, it's still, I would say, beyond scientific understanding, and until it's fully exhausted, until we can get its origin, the source of gravity, where it comes from. All we could see is its effects. So these aliens that came, these magical aliens that came, you would say that once they arrive here and we're able to study them, they would no longer be supernatural. They would be natural then.
No, they would always have been natural if they conform to the laws of nature, which I
What laws of nature? Their laws or our laws? What if they can
no,
morph into our laws? What if the supernatural, because they are different as far as their laws are concerned, their laws are different than ours. What if they have the ability to morph into our realm and take on the laws of our nature and our science or scientific understanding of the laws? What if they had that ability? Then would you still call them natural?
if they
Or would
conform
they
to
be
the laws,
supernatural?
if they conform to the laws of the natural universe, then they will be natural. They will be supernatural.
I know this is a tough one. So if
It's not. It's
so
really
if he can, so if God can become a human being and live with us and come into our realm, he's no longer supernatural. He's now natural.
if God, yeah,
Yeah,
if God
yeah.
could be explained by natural laws, yeah, then God will be natural.
Well,
Yeah.
because he morphed into,
All right.
he became, he limited himself, the Bible says, and
All
became
right. So you're
subject
saying
to
that
our
God is
laws.
natural. G.
He limited himself and became
All right.
subject
So
to
you're saying
our
that God.
scientific understanding. Ooh, I could write,
Yeah.
you could write a Bible. You're describing the
So you're saying.
incarnation. Wow, hold on. You just described the incarnation. You just
Right.
described
So you're
the
saying that.
incarnation without even realizing it. Congratulations.
Right. Right. So you're saying that God is natural and Jesus is natural. There's no supernatural.
He became, yeah, he limited himself, he lowered himself
Yeah.
from a different realm, a
So
realm in
God.
which
So God is.
the laws are different,
So God
the
is
laws of
natural.
nature are different, and
So
he
God is natural.
became our, like our nature,
Right.
like
So
our beings, or like our flesh. He took on flesh. Isn't that
so
amazing? So he's
so
now
God.
natural and supernatural. He's both.
Right. So God is natural and Jesus is natural.
Jesus
Okay.
is natural. He's the God man. He's forever the
Yeah.
God man. Yeah,
All
so
right.
he's both now. He took on a second nature. He took on a second understanding of scientific or understanding of the laws of nature. So now you can touch him, you can talk with him, you can eat with him, you can do all those things that
Yeah.
perhaps in his realm, though the laws of nature did not allow. So that's what we call the incarnation. And you just explained it beautifully with your alien theory. So Jesus is an alien. So you do believe in the resurrection, and
I,
you're
I,
and you
I never, Jill, Jill, I never said Jesus was an alien.
you
I
do
said the
believe in it.
aliens. I said the aliens could have come and took Jesus' body away. I never claimed that
He
Jesus
did.
was
The
an
alien
alien.
came and took his own body. He took his. It was only one though.
That,
It was
but yeah,
himself. Well,
that's
Father, Son, and
fine.
Holy Spirit. It was three aliens. All right.
That's
So
that's fine, but that's not what I said.
they came and took the body up and rose it up again. That's what they did. All right. They didn't steal it. They take it to another planet. However, Richard Manson might have you believe that they stole the body and kidnapped his body and took it to another planet and maybe started a new religion, Christianity 2.0. That's what he'll have you believe. That there were 24 different Jesuses, basically. All right. So now that we both believe in resurrection, let's move on to the deity of Christ. You believe that Jesus is a man, or since we're talking about the alien Jesus Christ?
Let's go back to the resurrection because
No, we're done with the rest. We both agree that an alien took the body. I just call that alien Jesus Christ himself, and you call that alien
Jesus. So all right. So we both agree that Jesus was an alien who took away his own body and resurrected himself.
Yeah. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
So okay.
He took away his own body out of the tomb. He got up and he walked around, and it were witnesses to himself,
Hello.
to him rising from the dead.
Yeah. All right. I'll be down in a sec.
See you in a minute.
All right. Love you.
Okay.
You gotta go.
Bye. Bye.
You gotta
Yeah.
run,
Sorry,
Wildheart.
Jill, that was my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got somewhere in this conversation. We both believe in resurrection. No, don't try to go back and change it now. We both believe in resurrection.
No, you can say I'm only going to be like 2 minutes, but we both agree that Jesus Christ was an alien who resurrected himself, took himself away, resurrected himself, and then came back and put his body back.
Amen. That's the most plausible solution to the empty tomb. I'm glad we can come to some agreements here.
Right.
But that is the most plausible. All the other explanations make no sense.
Someone please clip this. Someone, I can't be bothered, but someone please clip this. So Jill agrees that Jesus was an alien who came back in an alien spaceship, resurrected himself. Someone clip this, please. I'll be right back.
Yes. Are you gonna leave? Oh, he's gonna leave me. You're gonna leave me. You're gonna leave me on your channel by myself.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Jill. Yeah.
Can you make my com bigger?
Yeah, I can make you full screen.
Okay. All right. So. All right. So we're gonna give a little history lesson while Wildheart is gone. Yeah, we're gonna get a little history lesson. And I hope your channel doesn't get shut down for this, but since we're talking about aliens, let's see what the liberals are doing on with our border. I got some information I want to share with you, liberal. All right, so. We'll call it Biden's Immigration Act. Biden's Immigration Act. That is the act of someone who travels without legal right to do so is known as an illegal alien. Okay, so now, these Biden migrants, we'll call them Biden migrants, oftentimes in America have a better standard of living and are treated better than even the American citizens. In many aspects, that's according to the residents in Chicago, the African American or the Black residents in New York. There's a Breitbart News did an article on this, uh, something to the effect that child border crossers have a higher standard of living than about 13 million. It's estimated 13 million impoverished American children, meaning that their standard of living is higher than 13 million of our American children. That's child border crossers. That's people who come over here illegal. Anchor baby. That's according to Breitbart News. I'm to the point where if you still support Joe Biden because of your hatred for Trump, even though you can't even formulate a reason why you hate Trump, which means you're of the devil. Because if I don't like someone, I'm able to actually demonstrate why. Not just because that person doesn't agree with me and that person wins every debate, but I'm able to actually give you a substantive reason why they're harming people, their ideas, they're destroying communities, families. For instance, Joe Biden's policies. So these Biden migrants, we'll call them, they have a better standard of living. There have been several studies have been done on this, demonstrating that. They're oftentimes free to roam the United States due to the Trump's policy, or due to the policy of catch and release, which Trump is campaigning on that he's going to end. When they should be prosecuted, deported back to where they came from, the idea of catch and release is to catch them, sort of like they do in the inner cities with crime. People who are committing crimes. One guy was arrested 100 times and he's back on the street. And then they will brag and say, look, the crime has dropped. No, it hasn't. You have catched and released them. You never actually booked them. You just catch and release them. So there is no booking. There is no record of a crime being committed, basically, other than the complaint. When they should be prosecuted and deported, they are caught and released. Speaking of aliens, I'm speaking about aliens now. That's what Joe Biden called them, so I can say it now. YouTube, you can't get upset because Joe Biden called them illegal. So I didn't even use I didn't even say illegal. I just said aliens, because we're talking about Jesus being an alien. So the political left, who's taken over the Democratic Party. So don't tell me there's a difference between the left. One thing I disagree with, famous radio broadcaster, can't remember his name right now. Not Gorka, it's another guy that I sort of like, but he says there's a difference between the left and liberals. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There really isn't. So the left has taken over the Democratic Party. So if you support the Democratic Party, you support the left, basically. So the establishment, that's Obama, who's really the president, they will say there's only 11 million living in the country. It looks like I got to run. So when Wildheart comes back, he'll be by himself because I have to get back to work. So, but in short, the Democrats plan to steal another election. That's their plan. They want to steal the second election from Trump. They've already stolen one in 2020.
Jill,
yeah.
I've been. So you're obviously not looking at your screen. I've been back for about 2 minutes.
Oh no. Because I was getting ready to go back to work, but yeah, I was just explaining how they're engaging in voter fraud again by bringing in the illegals and now giving them voting rights. Right.
Oh, did you know that the illegals have just with their given IDs, they could fly anywhere they want in the country for free?
Oh yeah, yeah.
airline
Because
service.
they really want to try to flood the red states with them so they can change those red states blue. But
Well, a lot of it they're
the,
finding out is criminal. They're using it for like criminal. Of course, they're using it for criminality, but they're
Right.
using it for sex trafficking. There's getting these legal girls over here, and they got these fucking plane tickets. Now they could travel to their clients wherever they want and make all kinds of dough.
Mhm.
Living the dream, I guess. Crazy.
Yeah. But thanks for having me on, Waha. I'm glad you now admit that you accept resurrection as a fact, and there really is
And-
no other explanation for
Yeah, no,
the
Jill.
empty tomb. The tomb was
Jill-
empty. Hallelujah. Oh man. I'll see you next time, Waha.
Yeah, Jill. No, it's
Yeah.
been a pleasure, and I'm
Alright,
glad that
yeah.
you admitted that Jesus is an alien that came to Earth to
Yes.
resurrect himself and took himself back on a spaceship.
Amen.
I'm glad you admitted that.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
We can both
Do you
agree on
believe?
that. Yeah.
All right, amen. So why don't you become a Christian and a Reformed theologian like Jill?
Right. So we're both agreeing that Jesus Christ was an alien who came to Earth,
That's right.
beamed himself up on a spaceship, and resurrected
Oh
himself.
no, I don't know about I don't think he needed a spaceship. I think he just translated.
Oh, he just beamed himself up on.
He just translated. He's cool. He's cool like
Those
that.
sandals can walk on water, man. I'm pretty sure they can get up to space.
They didn't need a spaceship. No, he don't need a spaceship. He just translated from one realm to the next. He's God. He could do that. All right. So we both believe in resurrection. All right. So next time we come, we're going to deal with original sin because that's another important doctrine in the Christian faith. So if you're going to be serious about your Christian conversion, your fifth conversion to Christianity, if you're going to be serious about it, then you'll have to learn that the essential teachings or the essential doctrines of the faith, and you'll have to understand them and accept them. Okay.
But
right.
just before you go, we can all agree that Jesus was an alien.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. See ya. God bless. See ya, PJ. Right.
Yep.
I always get you and Sterling confused.
I know we sound alike. It's weird. I thought he was.
Yeah.
Who's using my voice?
All right. See ya.
All right, man. Take care, dude. So you're almost Christian.
Yeah. But someone's got to clip that out. Jill said that Jesus is an alien.
Yeah.
Who came to Earth, resurrected himself. Yeah, someone's got to. Yeah.
That's funny.
I can't let him forget that. And Christian Carpenter. Right, this is not a cock meat sandwich. I'll explain to you. Right, I'll make myself full screen. Just one sec.
Yeah, it's vegetarian. It's just cock meat flavored.
It's pilchards. Do you know like a potato? That's a potato sprout.
Oh.
With pilchards in it. You know pilchards like fish.
Okay.
And then cheese on top.
So potato with fish and cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, I never had that before.
It's really nice actually. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I have to make that one day. Check it out. Find the recipe.
And welcome to Sushi. Good to see you, man. How's it going?
Hello, that. So my question is, if Jesus can walk on water, then can he swim on land?
Sandworm.
Food sounds good right about now. Making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but this is really, really good. Right. We can put that aside for a sec. Although that is really, really good. Although I'm waiting to get back into the front room because I've paid my internet bill off today. I'm currently using my neighbour's internet, which is why I'm in the hallway. But I paid my internet bill off today, but it's still not come on. So I'm gonna have to ring them and see what's happening.
So you'll be able to get your internet back.
Yeah, I've actually paid for it, even though I shouldn't have. I've only been with them like 2 months, and they give me like 2 months free credit, so I shouldn't owe them anything. But I've paid them like £50 today. So yeah, I'm a bit pissed off as to why. Yeah, my internet's not back on.
It still has to go through processing, and then they hand it off to the guy who has admin rights, so they could go onto the server and take that little X mark to put you back on.
Yeah,
So it
Yeah,
might be a
that's-
day two process.
my modem has like a white light on it, and it keeps going black, so I know it's not on yet. But yeah, I have to get that sorted.
White's good, black's bad.
The
The law is written.
that is so rich.
So, it's signifiably true, though.
Yeah, in context. In context.
Come to the light. Come to the light. ADT, hey Pixie, hey Nerdy. Borderlands 3. Nice.
So between Jill and Richard, Satan caused evolution. Jesus is an alien. I guess God's an alien too, right? By that definition, like they're all the whole triune. They're all extraterrestrials.
Yeah, Jesus is God, God is Jesus. If Jesus is an alien, then God is an alien. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That necessarily follows. If Jesus is God and Jesus is an alien, then God is an alien. Yeah.
But if God created man in His image, that means that we're aliens too, man.
Mhm.
Or at least we look like aliens.
I think they're more reptilian like aliens. They seem to be having more control over everything. Not the little grays that go around doing all the dirty work.
Yeah. Yeah. Which some people have suggested, like the Greys are like little, like AI kind of robots for the real aliens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of see that in a weird way because we will send drones out ourselves
Yeah.
rather than risk the lives of anything. Well, no, I should take that back. Military is good for killing people. They love it. They don't
Oh
care.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a game for them.
Yeah. They
It's
don't
good
give
for
a
them to die. Napalm sticks to kids. Do, 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 do. Napalm sticks to kids. Remember that one? That one's a Vietnam vet made a little ditty, a little song. You can find it on the internet. It's called Napalm Sticks to Kids. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Oh, but yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're a weird test. I'll say that.
I've been around the block a couple times on my bicycle.
Welcome, fellas. Good to see you.
Hello. and I mentioned that in Richard's system, I don't think there's a father because he says that God has 7 spirits. And then he talks about Jesus, so I'm not sure if Jesus even still is a God or if he's just like a prophet. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, Jill just said that Jesus is an alien, and he believes that Jesus
Right.
is God. Therefore, if Jesus is God and Jesus is an alien, therefore God is an alien.
But does Richard say that Jesus is God?
No. I think Richard, he's like accepts all the prophets, like all Muhammad and all those guys, right? Like they're all of God, just for different times and places or something like that. But I don't think it's like into the Trinity model or like they're identical with each other.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm not talking about Richard. I'm talking about Jill. Jill has just said that Jesus is an alien. Oh, welcome, Bixie. Let's see.
Yeah, if we're going to misrepresent people's beliefs, we're
Hey,
at least
Bixie.
going to get a little bit closer. So, all right, I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm nearly as wrong as whatever the hell's going on right now. So we're going to start with, yes, technically Jesus would be an alien, but in a roundabout way, so are you, and so am I, and so is every human being on this earth. So it's not like, like Independence Day or anything like that. Second of all, no, Jesus is not God. God is the 7 spirits. However, Jesus does have a father.
Okay, but that's
and
the
he
difference.
does have
I'm saying
and
big
he
F.
does have this role of being anointed, right? So he does have a father. He is elected for like this purpose. He has this thing to carry out, right? Like he is ordained, I guess you'd say.
So what you just did is say that you were going to correct me, and then you agreed with everything
No, I did not agree with anything you fucking said. I just said that there is a father, and that despite Jesus not being God, and I wasn't even done yet. So you weren't the only one who was talking. So anyway, also, no, I didn't agree with you, and I didn't agree with your there's no father bullshit, because there is a father. Also, it's not that all these different people are different Jesuses for different times, right? It's that there have been different Jesuses for different worlds, right? Now, he does think that every religion is telling the same story and that some are telling it better than others, but not that each of these religions is a representation of a different Jesus.
But I think we're getting confused between Richard and Jill. I understand, Pixie, that's I would say a fair representation of what Richard believes. But Jill has just been on here and said that he believes that Jesus was an alien. I don't know where Richard came into it. That might be my fault. But Jill just said that Jesus was an alien. So I'm saying if Jesus was an alien and Jesus is God, then God must be an alien. Nothing to do with Richard.
Jill brought Richard up.
I came up. Well, no, Richard was brought up in the comments and again by some other people on the panel, and I was correcting that.
Yeah.
But you were wrong because you didn't correct anything I said. What you did is you made a counterclaim, which was wrong. I said the capital F father, and you keep saying a father. I never mentioned a father.
I'm talking about a capital F Father, right? Just
Oh,
because
that's not
just
what you
because
typed it.
just because the concept of what it is not an all-knowing, all omnipresent deity or whatever that other people equate with it, doesn't mean that the concept of the Father with a capital F being more designated and more important than a Father with a lowercase f does not exist in his worldview or theology. Not remotely the same fucking thing. So yes, I do disagree with you. I'm going to continue to disagree with you, and you can keep trying to twist that, but it's not helping you. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so I'm confused now. My point was only that Jill has just agreed that Jesus is an alien, therefore God is an alien.
I don't know about.
Yeah, no, and he admitted that several times. He acknowledged it right
Yeah.
before he left too. That was good.
No, I didn't machine gun nonsense. I addressed several things that came up, including yours, and I still disagree with you. And you trying to make it appear that I agree with you is what's ridiculous, and what you're hoping. And I don't know what you're hoping when you do that. I don't know. Try to make me forget that I disagree with you. No, I still disagree with you. So do your bullshit armchair psychology, pat yourself on the back, do what you need to do.
Man, you're projecting a lot. You okay?
No, I'm not projecting a lot. I'm just not taking your bullshit. You want to try something else? You're just going to cry and pretend. Are you okay?
Oh, that's crying and
Why
pretending.
don't you pretend like you even give a fuck? Please,
What's
just
that?
because I won't pull it up with your bullshit today. Just because I don't think you're right, just because you can pretend you know something about me that you don't fucking know, and when I call you out for being wrong,
now
I'm
I know
projecting.
something about you.
Oh, cry
You are
about it.
projecting so hard. I'm
Cry.
pretending to
Where?
you.
Yeah, because I said you're wrong about me. Because I said you're wrong about me. That's projecting. And it must be projecting because you must be all knowing about me.
No one's
You're
making
ridiculous.
statements about you,
You've been
sweetie.
ridiculous the last 5 times you've talked to me. How about you just not?
What's that?
Right, if I can jump in and try to be a mediator, what is the actual things we are disagreeing on? Rather than calling each other names and...
I told him what I disagreed with him on, and he wants to pretend that I don't disagree with him. He said that in Richard's beliefs, because Jesus is not God and the 7 spirits are God, that because Jesus is not God, there is no capital F Father in Richard's beliefs. And I said that is not true, and that just because his concept of the capital F Father is not some omni-God the same way Jill thinks it is, doesn't mean that the concept of the Father with a capital F is missing from his worldview. And I don't think it does his worldview any justice to pretend that it is absent. And he says that I agree with his statement, and the fact is, I don't agree with his bullshit statement.
Yeah, no, if I can try to shine some light, Richard has left some comments on my video. Richard does believe in the Father, he does believe in God, but he believes that Christians conflate the Father with the God. Richard doesn't believe that the Father and God are the same thing.
Thank you. But that does no that
But
in
you're
no
saying
way
thank-
puts me
you're
in
saying
agreement.
thank you, but
That in
again-
no way
again,
to
you
him,
totally
yes,
screwed
and that
up.
in no way puts me in agreement with your.
Go back 8 minutes and you typed therefore there is a lowercase father, but yet if you
Because
look up,
I
what
don't, because I
said
didn't
was
capitalize it. Just because I
capital
didn't capitalize it. Just because I didn't
said
capitalize
capital
it doesn't
again,
mean I
whatever,
wasn't.
Pixie, you're so
Just
full of
because,
shit. You
just
can't
because
ever
I
admit
didn't
being
know,
wrong.
just because I didn't capitalize it doesn't mean you didn't know what I was addressing. Because
You
it was
just-
clear
you
that I
just
was
can't
addressing.
ever
No,
admit
it was
being
clear
wrong,
that
but
I was
that's
addressing
okay.
your claim. No,
It's
it was clear
disgusting.
that I
You're
was
worse than
addressing.
Jill.
It is clear that I was addressing your claim of there not being a father. As a matter of fact, I tried to address it in chat before you brought that stupid nonsense up here. So whatever. Just because you wanted to get away with misrepresenting somebody else's beliefs.
No, just because you're trying to straw man and then projecting that off onto other
No,
people.
I'm not you're
and then
straw manning the
telling
beliefs of somebody
everything
who's
about
not
my
even here.
attributes and then
Talk
claiming
about
that
projecting.
somehow that's
Talk about
trying to get into you.
projecting,
You
Hillary.
go ahead and talk because
Talk
that's
about
it. Cute little
projecting, Hillary.
Pixie
You're
is
trying
supposed
to
to get
straw
away with
man.
all the
You're trying
bullshit
to
all the
straw
time.
man.
She wants to steamroll over everybody.
You
And
are trying to
it's
straw man the
disgusting.
beliefs of somebody who's
It's
not even here.
disgusting.
So keep talking about projecting like you're not the one doing it.
Yeah, thank you. You're proving my point.
Right, sorry, I forgot the point. What are you arguing about again?
She
Yeah.
just wants to say that I'm wrong because for some reason that gets her knickers in a twist.
No,
she loves
see,
giving ad
look at
hominems
his
and talking
bullshit
shit.
armchair
Most of the time, I
psychology.
just ignore it.
He can't answer anything from his own perspective. He has to pretend to answer it from mine because he thinks his bullshit armchair psychology is so spot on. What happened was he tried to straw man the beliefs of somebody who wasn't even here in the chat, and I tried to correct it in the chat, and he decided to bring it up here. And now that I brought it up here to correct him, now that I brought it up here to correct him, he has accused me. No, now that I came up here, and now that I hold on, now that I came up here to not
I'm not
only
even going to listen to you because you
you
have
don't
nothing
have to
valuable
listen to me
say.
because I'm not talking
I'm
to you.
tired of this.
Now
You're
that I
always
came
doing
up
this
here,
shit.
what
And
the
usually
fuck
I
ever?
let you
So shut
slide,
up.
but I'm not
Anyway,
today.
Wild,
You're full of shit.
now that I came up here to
Yeah.
correct not only
You're
him,
full of
but
shit.
what
You're not
Monkey
correcting
said.
anything. You're
Because
straw
no,
manning.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I
Yeah,
also
I got Richard's
corrected
belief
what Monkey
wrong.
said.
If I misunderstood,
Oh
that's
my
called
god.
straw man.
Sorry,
Okay,
Hillary.
I also corrected what Monkey said, and now that I'm up here correcting it, he's saying
You're
that
not
I'm
correcting anything.
projecting,
You're full
and
of
I'm
shit.
this,
You're giving ad
and I'm
homs
that.
and spraying.
No,
You're
it was
screaming.
corrected, and he wanted to pretend that I agreed with him. He wanted to pretend all kinds of things.
No, not pretend. I just pointed out what you said. But if we can't go by what you say, then I guess that's something else.
Oh, I
That's
went by what
fine.
I said too.
I'll just go back
you
to
went,
ignoring you like
keep
usual.
twisting, keep crying because your twist didn't work.
Sorry, Hillary and Pixie. If you can just speak one at a time, because I'm losing. What
I
the point
was
is.
speaking. The
Yeah,
point
No,
is,
I go ahead and let Pixie speak, and then when I speak, she wants to machine gun over me, and so I never get my chance.
No,
So
it's because you
like
don't.
I said, screw
Because
it. She's
no,
full of
it's
shit.
because I'm
She loves
telling
doing
you.
ad hominem. I don't know. I guess
I
could do some armchair
at the end of
psychology.
the day, you're both
And guess
speaking
why
over
it
each
is that she
But
yeah, I'm the
then-
one throwing ad homs. That's why you're the one who went straight to armchair psychology, telling me what I'm doing and how I feel. And that's why when he answered a question, you tried to use your bullshit
Where did I
armchair
say how you
psychology
feel?
to answer from my fake perspective
you're so
rather than
full
your
of
own
shit.
perspective, because I'm the one who's fond of ad homs. Keep going, Hillary's.
Whenever you get to third grade, let me know. You're so full of shit. And like I said,
Oh, there we go. There we go. No argument. Just
Again, I'm
bullshit.
quiet when you talk, but you can't shut up when I talk. So screw it. Again, everybody, just so everybody knows, she's full of shit.
Throw another
I finally will
insult.
step up and mention it, even though most of the time I just stay silent because it gets so old.
Yep, because I was the one up here running my mouth about shit I don't know anything about.
That's
I'm
exactly
the one who's
what
so
you're
full
doing.
of shit.
Yes,
Yep.
that's exactly what you're doing. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll ask Richard who represented him a little more accurately. And then we'll see who's running their mouth about shit they don't know about, huh?
Accurately, but you couldn't even do that. You
Oh, I represent myself just fine. Or do you think that I owe you something? What is it you think I owe you?
You're so full of shit. I'm not even listening to you.
I don't represent myself accurately. That's kind of fucking ridiculous. What, you think you did it better with your bullshit armchair psychology,
No,
Hillary?
I don't need to
because that
represent
didn't
you.
work?
All I need to do is point to what you actually typed, and you're wrong. You can't even handle taking care of your own business.
No, what I typed is still accurate. What I typed is still accurate. A father, a capital F father, whatever. Just because you want to pretend like it wasn't obvious that I was addressing what you said. Yep, I'd pretend too.
Okay.
Well, that was interesting.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I don't know where to go from that. But yeah, Richard did say that. Richard does believe in the Father and God, but he believes that Christians conflate the Father with God. He believes they're two different entities. If that means anything or sheds any light on, yeah, I forget where we're up to. What we
sorry.
really
I
need,
just think if we're going to misrepresent somebody I'm really fond of, we should probably do that while they're here.
yeah, what we really need is Richard Madsen. I don't know if anyone can get in touch with him, but yeah.
Richard, help us.
Oh
I can email him, but I don't know if it'll do me.
yeah, do that. Yeah. But the initial point was Jill. Let's get back to mocking Jill rather than Richard Madsen. Not that you were mocking Richard Madsen, but
I was doing no such thing.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but so Jill said that Jesus is an alien, and he believes that Jesus is God. Therefore, God is an alien, which yeah, is weird, but I liked it.
Yeah, no, that was good fun.
So,
And I wasn't intending to mock Richard either if it came off that way. It was just that was what came out in the last stream that he was over at my channel. He had laid out this theory for Jill, with Satan effectively beginning the evolutionary process. I don't know if I want to I don't want to straw man, but that's the essence of it.
No,
Like
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've had him break it down before. And from my understanding, you are correct that he does believe that there is more than one Jesus, right? This is something that has happened before. But he believes none of the Bible has come true yet, right? So the Jesus for our earth isn't even here yet, right? Like none of this has even happened yet. So the one that we talk about is the Jesus from another earth. But from what I understood about the different religions, it's not that each religion represents a different Jesus. It's that each religion is telling the same story, some better than others.
Right.
But I understood where you were going with the multiple Jesuses. I just thought it was a little different than because of the different religions, if that makes sense.
yeah, and I wasn't accusing anyone of mocking Richard Madsen. I just said, can we get back to mocking Jill rather than doing anything else? Yeah. So. Yeah, but I've had that problem recently as well with trying to represent what Richard Madsen believes. I've tried to do it, but it never comes off well. Like he left in a comment. Sorry, he left in a comment. Like I've explained to you, Walter, why the Father and God, why Christians conflate the Father and God. But he was complaining that I was arguing against another Christian, and I can't use Richard's arguments against another Christian because they're just going to think that it's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to go against what the other Christian believes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But I want to say, and now here's where I could be way off, because I know he has a concept of a father with a capital F, right? I want to say, and this is where I could be really wrong, because I was trying to get him to get me to understand the concept. So I don't know how metaphorical this piece was to get me to understand, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But when I was asking him to explain the concept of the Father being separate from this concept of God, it was basically like, so the previous Jesus is the father to the new Jesus, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And right, so that's how he was explaining it to me to get me to make sense of it. But I don't know if that's like concrete the way he believes it.
Yeah.
Either way, he clearly has a concept of a father, capital F.
Yeah, the Jesus on the other planet will be the father of the Jesus on this planet. I think that's what he says.
I think what he was saying as well was that he differentiates the capital F Father of the universe from the creator of mankind. Those might be two different entities from what he's explaining to me.
Yeah,
and I don't want to get any further than that surface level, because I really don't want to misrepresent him.
Yeah, like you say, it's difficult without Richard being here to represent his views, because
Is he still? I haven't looked at it in quite a while. That's on my other account page, but I know that he's been. I don't know if he's updated at all, but he had a PDF or something like that of kind of like his writings, his interpretation. I don't have it saved on my other browser, not this one. This one just has Mein Kampf, the usuals. But I remember he shared a PDF or a page, and I haven't looked at it in a while, and I wonder if he's updated it. But it kind of like lays out.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, PJ. I have it as well. Yeah. I think we actually, it's been like over a year now. We did a stream together. We were reading through some of it in Genesis, I believe.
Yeah, it was a while when I remember him bringing it up. I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, but pretty interesting. Concepts just from the definitions of what the words mean, and how he could just go off on just names and get the whole story out of it. It's pretty cool. That man's done a lot of studying and contemplating, that for sure.
Yeah, it's a wealth of information.
Definitely, yeah. And a really nice guy to boot.
Indeed.
Warpath. I guess only if you earn it. I am an extremely loyal person. I don't suggest fucking with people I'm fond of in front of me.
You're not loyal. You're not loyal. You can't have.
Oh, because I'm not loyal to you?
I said. Let's just go back to the beginning. I said that Richard's concept of God was that it was 7 spirits. You then said how wrong I am, and then repeated the same thing.
No. No, you said that is not what you said. Go back, Hillary. Go back and be honest. 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 No, you were just dishonest.
Get it together. Apologize for your misbehavior.
Hillary was
just
quit
crying and then claiming that I'm the one that's crying.
Hillary.
That's fine. I'm not
Okay.
going to armchair psychologize, but I
Blah,
do
blah,
understand
blah,
your
blah.
psychology. I
Hillary's,
pity you,
no,
and that's
you
why I
really
let you get
don't.
away
You
with so
really
much
don't,
shit.
because you were just dishonest again. I did not come up here and correct you saying that his God was 7 spirits. I corrected you claiming that he had no concept of a capital F Father, because that's bullshit, and that was a straw man. Either that, or you were clearly speaking on something you had no fucking clue about, which is what you accused me of. So either
Well,
way,
but you
that's
can't
that
handle that. You
projection
can't
you keep
handle that. The
talking
fact
about.
that I might be
Oh, look at
mistaken.
you, look at you
In
not,
your
look at you
worldview,
talking
it's
over me.
impossible
Look at
to
you,
even
oh, look,
consider
that's
that I
more
might be
projection.
wrong.
You
That
talking
is
about how you can let
amazing.
somebody else talk.
Wild
You
Heart, it
talking
seemed
about
like
how
you
you
had
can let
something you
somebody
wanted to
else talk
say.
without rolling. Oh, I'm the one who wants to roll over you constantly. You don't
Yeah.
want to roll over
Right.
me. Is that more projection? Because you clearly let me finish
Oh,
this
I never
then.
said I didn't want to roll over
Oh,
you.
see, yeah, Yep, you understand so much. You're
Yeah,
so full
I
of
never
shit.
said I didn't want to roll over you.
Yeah, can I say we've got 11 viewers. We rarely get into double figures, so thanks for that. But apart from that, yeah, no, Richard did leave me a comment, and it said that Christians conflate the Father, capital F, Father, and God. So from that, I'm presuming that Richard believes in the Father and God, which are separate things.
No, right, and this is what I was alluding to in the conversation that we had the other night. Was that he was saying that the Father of man might be one entity, and the Creator of all things might be another entity. Those could be two separate things.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that helps with the thing between Louise and Pixie, but yeah. Richard definitely believes that the Father exists and God exists, and he believes they are 2 separate entities. That is what I got from his comment. But
Thank you. And that's all I was saying, was that just because God is 7 spirits doesn't mean he has the absence of the concept of a Father with a capital S. But if he wants to pretend it was something else, then he's free to pretend it was something else, because whatever bullshit he needs is the bullshit he needs.
Yeah, you couldn't handle asking me for clarification. You just had to go on your bullshit. That's fine.
You mean the way you asked Richard for clarification before you just jumped up here to spout about his beliefs? Real cute.
Is he here for me to ask for clarification? I'm going.
Then why the fuck were you talking about it when the topic was Jill? The topic's Jill. You're the one who came up here talking about it uninvited. What the fuck were you supposed to be getting clarification for? Weirdo.
Calling me a weirdo is very rich coming from you.
He wasn't even the fucking topic.
What makes me a weirdo, Pixie?
Because Wildheart's sitting here talking about Jill. You come in here straw manning fucking Richard in the chat for no reason.
I'm not
then you jump up here talking about Richard. Then you jump up here talking about Richard. Then you come up here talking. Then you come up here talking about Richard's beliefs for no reason, and you're like, "How was I supposed to get clarification?"
My
Well, why
understanding
the fuck were you even
the
bringing it up?
Trusty made a statement, and so then I was trying to say what my understanding was. But again, you can't handle the fact that I might be wrong. That's not even possible in your worldview. I guess I should be flattered.
Oh, wait, now you might be wrong. I thought I didn't correct anything.
I said that long ago.
I thought I just agreed with you. I thought I just agreed with you, and you were never wrong.
You guys need to get a room.
Ooh, makes sense. I thought you were never wrong, and I just agreed with you. We've done pretending that bullshit was accurate now.
I'm never wrong. That's you claiming it.
Why do birds suddenly?
I know. I think somebody needs a good bell. I don't want to armchair philosophize.
Just like
me, long to be close
to you.
Yeah,
I can't whistle. I should whistle.
I'm sorry, proceed.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how we got onto Richard. I was just happy that Jill admitted or agreed with me that Jesus is an alien and God is Jesus, therefore God is an alien. I was just kind of happy at that fact. I don't know why Richard got
Yeah, and Bond says he has the clip. I think Bond clipped it already. I'm gonna go back and do this one as well. But
Yeah, cheers, Bond.
If Jesus is an alien, the Van Allen belt is the worst border wall we have.
I love how he used that to segue too. Like after you went off cam, he did his whole little illegal immigrant rant. Like, just, yeah.
Oh, Jill, yeah.
While we're talking about aliens, you know.
Yeah.
We bring up these aliens real quick here. The Democratic agenda.
Yeah. I went out to get my tea, so I didn't see that, but yeah. I'll have to watch that back. So is it going well? What's going on?
No, I won't complain. Everything's fantastic. Another day in paradise. Every day is a holiday. Every meal's a feast. Same old gravy, just keeping it warm. I got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah, don't make me sing Genesis. No,
please do.
No, it was Phil Collins, wasn't it? Just another day for you and me in paradise. Oh,
okay, but why are
that song always makes me cry. Every time I hear it, I cry. I can't help it.
Yeah,
I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
Well, every time Wildheart hears it, he starts doing the snake from late 1980s. That's the one he knows.
Like Axl Rose. Old Davy Jones from the Monkeys Dance.
Oh, yeah. I hate Jill left. I was so hoping to catch him in here. Jill, what about that?
Apparently, that
stream
guy
you were talking
actually
about?
has a job.
No, come on.
Yeah, he works for a living or something. I don't know.
He keeps talking about some stream that he's got up, but every time I tell him to start the stream, he won't do it because he's waiting on Biden to get out of office. Like, that is going to make him any more right about his nonsense.
They're talking about
like a
all
prophetic
this right now. What are you gonna do about Jill today? He's still not streaming because of me. Come on.
Kareen, can we ask you a question? When is President Biden going to step aside so Jill can stream? Well, fuck, I killed the whole thing, man.
No, you never did tell me why God hated liberals.
No, I'm just still working.
Richard's an alien.
Yeah, but according to Richard, we're all aliens. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, according to science, we're all aliens. We are from stardust, from billions and billions of stars, you see.
Yeah. Yeah. What was his name?
Neil deGrasse.
Sagan. Carl Sagan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought
Neil on the grass, Tyson.
Yeah, that you know what I'm talking about from the. Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome, Dirty Vermin. Good to see you.
Neil deGrasse Tyson's pissed off, man. I saw a little clip of his the other day because apparently there's an asteroid that's headed towards the western coast of the United States, and the only people that are making an effort to intercept it are the Russians. And he's pissed off because that just shows how much we're lacking, how far we are behind when we're not even doing it for our own safety. The Russians are leading this one.
Well, we would, but we've got this thing going on with the Jews, right?
Not the Jews. The Russians have always been like that, though. You look at like the space race, like they had Space Chimp, like they just blasted like random shit off into space, like way before we ever started doing it.
Through that.
So they're just reckless in that regard, though.
At least we know
Alien.
Jill is still watching. John 8:23. Then he told them, "You are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world." I don't know what that means, but at least she was watching.
Yep, that's quotes from the
Extraterrestrial,
alien
man.
Jesus. Yep. I mean, God would be extraterrestrial. Naturally, he would.
Yeah, necessarily. Yeah. If God wasn't born on this planet, then he would necessarily be extraterrestrial.
Wait. I think we've just coined a new term. God would be omniterrestrial, right? Because he is both everywhere. He's everywhere and nowhere, right? So he's like,
Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you.
only if the Omni God is the God we're referencing, I guess. Yeah. You know what's weird though is how somebody can have an omni-God and their God is still as tiny, as petty as they are. It's kind of a weird oxymoron.
No, I would say more petty than they are. Like the God of the Bible, the Omni God, is more petty than I am. I don't want to stone. I never.
Yeah,
want
but
to
I don't think it's more. I don't think it's more petty than Jill is. I think it just gets to act on it in a way Jill doesn't get to.
Yeah.
You know, if God is one and we're all part of God, and God has to look down to see us, does that mean we're God's wiener? We're just being jerked around this whole time?
Yeah, Jill, start your stream.
It's like a bad POV.
Yeah, I want to see this. So Will, what exactly has Jill like tasked you to do? What is the argument between you and Jill?
I barely remember. I think it was something about what other mythologies Christianity is based on. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, you guys are going on about Mithra and all that.
It was influenced by quite a few, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were going all the way back to. I tried to talk to him about the Sumerians, but he, got a bug up his ass and declared it was liberal scholarship, and so I'm just going to probably stick with Mithras and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, oh, that's liberal, that's biased. But then he's like over here Googling. What was he Googling earlier?
Spider porn.
Yeah, something like that.
And
that was the definition for supernatural. That's what he was Googling it. Just wanted to, I don't know, get down on the atheist level or something.
Yeah, and Jill, Walter is a Christian since he believes in alien resurrection. Hallelujah. No, I didn't say that. I said the aliens could have come and took Jesus' body away. That would account for the empty tomb.
They wanted to find out what the fuss was about. I was like, what's up with this guy? Everybody's sticking to like wood and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I should decorate our spaceship with him.
I never claimed that Jesus was resurrected. I said that aliens could have come up and took the body away. So
yeah.
So, excuse me.
And he did that throughout. That was like part of the argument. Well, if you said that aliens could have come and taken the body and Jesus was an alien, well then, and it's like, no, but nobody said that Jesus took his own body away. Like that wasn't the claim.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think from that clip, Jill did say, yeah, Jesus is an alien. Jesus came and took his own body away. You'll have to.
No, that doesn't follow. Hasn't he seen Stargate or Star Trek? You have to have somebody beam you up. There has to be somebody to beam you. You can't. Can't
I think he did mention. He was mentioning transportation or something like that. Yeah, like they were teleporting.
Why not get into a sarcophagus and get healed? Especially if you still got the little worm. And is that worm God? And just
it's not fair to earn so many brownie points after our Gurness.
What did she just say?
It's not fair to earn so many brownie points after the Gurness.
She's trying to sell you some Girl Scout cookies.
Your sarcophagus reference. It made me smile.
Yeah, I was thinking of Mumford and Thundercats.
With Stargate, the sarcophagus, the heel, never mind.
Yeah, but Thundercats is a Mumford. He would go back to his sarcophagus to regenerate for the next time.
Yeah, that it really is the same story. Thundercats and Stargate, same story.
Oh yeah, all these guys went to school somewhere.
That kind of makes me wonder, did Darth Sidious, aka Emperor Palpatine, is he just like kind of another version of Mumra? because Thundercats came out like a decade or so, or well, I don't even know how many decades ahead of the one where Emperor Palpatine like got hit with the Force lightning. His own Force lightning, I think, was turned back on him. I don't recall.
Oh,
but
Return of the Jedi with Luke and
Lucas wrote that years before that.
He
Pretty
did?
sure.
So-
Yeah. The book was written.
okay.
It's all based on
But that would just go back to vampires, going back
And
to
the trash panda snuck away.
Oh.
He does that often. Yeah. Yeah, but Thundercats was 1980s. I don't know when Stargate started. I think 2000s. So there's 20-year difference there.
No, I'm talking about Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, I don't know.
The Emperor Palpatine reminded me of Mumm-Ra because, like, he's really decrepit, but then at other times he's like really powerful.
Oh,
Well, yeah, that's the the story with Palpatine, though. I think he gave up his physical, like his physicality for that power to be able to wield energy like he does, or whatever.
Well, the Sith rely on the Force for a lot. I imagine they rely on it for daily tasks also, which would probably like diminish the body but keep the power more so.
Yeah.
Because he got deformed with the Mace Windu in that one episode. Yeah, the deformity came in, and then he explains Anakin's birth with the Darth. What was his name? The one who could pretty much impregnate, a person, with bring him to life without being there, that godlike Jesus thing.
Darth Plagueis?
Yeah, Darth Plagueis. Yeah, that's one. So that would explain Anakin's birth, because she said there was no father. There never was, and Plagueis was the only one that was able to do that.
Yeah,
and that's why Palpatine wanted him so bad, because he killed Plagueis. That was his mentor. That was his teacher. And one of the things that the Sith do, if things don't go their way, they'll take over their master's position by killing the master if they don't get what they want.
An audiobook I just listened to had Sidious trying to get Plagueis's, now I'm going to say it wrong, it's not hologram, whatever that thing is, holocron, because he had the ability to transcend his body, and then that's how Sidious was able to inhabit the clone bodies after his original body died. Or no, I think I might be wrong. I think instead of Sidious, it was maybe Darth Bane, because he had a Twi'lek apprentice that wasn't challenging him, and he had some disease. Yeah, I think Darth's wrong.
Yeah. When it said Bane, now you got me thrown back to Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
that's way before. I remember reading. I was kind of a little bit into the comic books and stuff when I was a kid. I remember reading they had a leak, what the next movie was supposed to be, and I thought the premise was really nice. Where Luke turns evil and Leia has to save him, but that was all X'd out, I guess, somewhere in the mix. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the Star Wars movies in so long. The last ones I watched were the Disney series. I watched Boba and the other one. It was pretty good. Mandalorian. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. That was all right.
Yeah,
it got a little weird at the end, though. It got a little lovey-dovey, and they also started getting the whole community thing going, and Well,
Yeah.
it was still a good movie. Or a good series, I guess. And Rogue One was actually a movie. That was good.
You're all terrible people. You should feel bad. Hello.
I feel
Oh,
better
no,
now years
Midnight.
ago that night.
Hey, Sparks.
Hey, Midnight. What
How
is
we doing?
What
What
is
was that?
is it Andor? Is it Andor? Is that the name of it? I thought that was the best
Andor.
one. I mean, I've seen Mandalorian and I've seen Boba Fett, and they were okay. But what did you say it was?
Oh, Endor was a planet moon where the
Endor?
Ewoks were. That was in part 3. Return of the
No,
Jedi.
I don't think it was that one. Okay, so it's the guy. Oh, dang it, he's running away. I can't remember his name. They think he's like some terrorist or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was also
Oh,
took place
You
on
sound
Endor.
so
They had to
different,
transmit the
Pixie,
final
for some
message
reason.
off Endor. So that was on Endor too. It was Rogue One. Took place partly on Endor.
you talking about Obi-Wan though?
No, it's a recent one. I mean, it's one of the newer ones, like Boba Fett and all that. Here, I'm gonna look up Star Wars series.
Am I the only one who thinks Pixie sounds different, or am I just going insane?
No, I sound different because I had bone grafts in my jaw, and I have this lisp that's gonna take like a year to get rid of. Okay.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel self-conscious about it.
Is it painful? Is it painful, or do you not feel any different?
It hurt. First, it hurt really, really bad. And now it doesn't hurt, but it takes a lot of effort, and my jaw gets tired. It gets really tired, and that's a weird thing to say. All I can think about is like when you were a little kid and you first started chewing gum, and after like 10 minutes of chewing, you're like, my jaw is really tired. It's like that. It's like my jaw just gets really tired sometimes. And it actually changed my bite, if that makes sense. And so that's part of the lisp, among other things. And the bone grafts are encouraging the bone to grow, right? So it's going to take a while to settle. Everything's just different. And I keep injuring myself, right? And so it's just weird. Anyway, in like a year, I should sound normal again.
You sound fine.
I sound like I have a retainer in, which is an improvement because for like the first 2 weeks, I sounded like really drunk and everything was slurred together.
Understandable though. It's like a very major alteration.
Well, yeah. Well, and it comes back in phases, right? Like I get certain sounds back, and but the hardest sounds to get back are like S, X, and words that have like LKS, that combination. Like those things are really hard to get back to normal, especially when it keeps changing, right? Like it's not settled. So it's just weird. But there you go. And I will eventually be back to normal. It's just going to be a really long time.
Well, I wish you a speedy recovery.
Thanks. I am doing as well as can be expected, maybe even better. So no worries.
Right on. Hey, Trusty, why does your avatar look like the Stanford University psychology guy?
That is
Oh,
him.
it is. Yeah.
Oh, right. I caught many of that. Right, I knew it was. I just had to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the series.
Same here. Right on. It's really good.
Yeah. Watch the series. I'm reading this book for the second time now. Behave. It's a really good read. I recommend it to anybody.
It's called Behave.
Yeah.
Definitely have to take a look at that for sure. Right on.
I was right. It is called Andor.
That's another series they did?
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Okay. I
Andor.
haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
It was like a prison planet or something of.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it, but I heard a few podcasts of them describing it.
I actually really liked that one.
It sounds
It was
really
different. It was different. It wasn't like super Jedi focused or anything like that, right? There's this guy who happens to like get adopted by a woman who is part of the rebellion or was a part of the rebellion. Now she's like in hiding or whatever. You don't really find out her connection to the rebellion until later. I don't know. It was pretty well done in my opinion because, like I said, it's not very like Jedi heavy or anything. He kind of accidentally, but almost out of necessity, becomes a fugitive. So, and I liked that one. Okay, now it got quiet. Have any of you seen Silo yet? Has nothing to do with Star Wars. You should all watch it.
What is it?
It's called Silo, and it's based on a book called Wool, and it's really good. You should watch it. Season 2 is coming out soon, so you should watch season 1. Huh?
Is it science fiction or what type of?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely science fiction, but at first it comes across like almost like a mystery, right? Because
Suspense, thriller.
And I wouldn't say thriller so much. Okay, I'm going to give you some basic things so you see why I say that, but without giving away the story plot, okay? So there's this thing that's like a silo, but it's underground, and there's different levels. And this is where these people live, and every level is responsible for like a different thing, right? Like you have like all the medical wing is like one level, you know. And they say that everybody contributes, so no level is less than another level, but we all know how society works, so that's a load of shit, right? Okay, cool. Anyway, somebody dies, and how they die could be a suicide or it could be a homicide, right? Like it's very, very suspicious. So there's reasons it could be either. So, but this person is connected to somebody else. And this somebody else knows a lot more than they should know. And so things start getting crazy. People don't go outside for a particular reason that I'm not going to give away at all, because there are competing theories about what exactly is going on there, and I'm not going to. I think even people who finished the first season have competing theories about what's going on there. So I'm not going to give that away.
Wait,
But anyway,
so is this like some Black Mirror type stuff where there's like some like alternate universe going on or alternate reality kind of?
no. So did you ever see that sci-fi thing called like Snowpiercer or whatever about the people on the train?
No.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Okay. Snowpiercer. Okay. Silo is what Snowpiercer wishes it could be on its best days. Like it's kind of it's almost a dystopian society, but you can't. It's hard. It's one of those where it's like you don't know whether to describe it as dystopian or as like just like something good, right? Something that was done for survival, or like you could actually go either way based on what's given to you, the information given to you. It's just very interesting, and you would just have to watch it. I mean, clearly there's people you like, people you don't like. Clearly there's corruption, and you can see where the corruption is and certain people who are corrupted. But at the same time, like how this place came to be, you can go either way with what's given to you. At this point, you can finish season 1 and think this came to be because of something brilliant, or you can get to the end of the season and look at what they give you and think, oh, there's something like really fucking awful happening here. And like, no matter how you feel about the characters and the living situation, you can come to either conclusion, and I find that interesting. So I don't want to give away too much. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sounds interesting. I got into Black Mirror when we were in rehab. They were watching that on movie nights. So I was like, I had never watched it before, and then I was like, some of them I was pretty surprised, but a lot of them I was kind of guessing I was guessing at the beginning where it was going.
I like Black Mirror though.
It wasn't too bad.
I will say the ending is not what I expected. And I was watching it with somebody who read the book a long time ago, Wool, which I hadn't read before I saw this. I hadn't read it. And so, like, I remember getting to the last episode of the first season, and my jaw dropped because, first of all, there are certain movies that I praise very, very highly, if for no other reason because I could not guess the ending. That's unusual for me. I can usually guess the ending within like the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. And there's only like there's maybe 5 movies I couldn't guess the ending of when I sat down and watched it. And for that reason, those 5 movies will always stand out to me. But anyway, this series is one of them. There was no way I guessed that was going to happen. And even the person that I was watching it with who had read the book, like, they had the jaw drop moment, and they were like, I was trying to remember what was going to happen. I was trying to remember, and that is not what I thought it was going to be. And so I was like, okay, that was well done then. Then that was well done. So now I'm looking forward to season 2, and hopefully it is just as well done.
I'm guessing that whoever made the silo did it as like a doomsday survival scenario, but it sounds like you're saying that maybe they repurposed it for some less altruistic reason.
and I say silo because it's silo-like, but I wouldn't call it like a real silo, right? Because this is like it's an underground structure for one. So
Well, it
yes,
says it's
much closer to a
144
bunker
level.
than an actual silo. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You know, I started out with the same impression, but that one thing that I can't give away, and I want people to watch it because it's in the last scene of the last show on the first season. That's not something I can give away, you know.
Right.
But you see that, and you're like, wait a minute. What does that mean for every fucking thing I thought before this, right? And it's just one of those wait a minute. Like, I thought we were getting somewhere, and now I don't know. And it's really well done.
I see it's on Apple Plus.
As long
Once
as
it
it
gets
doesn't end up being
somewhat,
like Lost.
that'd be
sorry.
good.
It's not like you're going to get lost like the movie Memento, right? Which, don't get me wrong, one of my favorite movies. I was not lost. I understood it the first time. People were like, I had to watch it 3 times to get that.
Yeah,
But
I was talking about the TV
show. Like Lost, the TV show. I never watched that, so I don't know.
The first few seasons were really good. The last one kind of sucked.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I also didn't watch 24. A lot of people talk about that. I didn't watch that. Yeah. I was watching. I know my sister watched it because I remember she would be in the living room watching 24 with my mom, and I would be in the den watching the 4400. I remember that. I still don't regret picking the 4400.
Yeah, the 4400 was probably better. My mom and I did watch the first season of 24, though.
I don't know. There's a lot of shows there's one show that I never watched that to this day people tell me I should go watch it. And like, I could if I wanted to, right? Like, I have all the seasons downloaded. I could watch it, and I haven't. And it's called True Detective.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody says I should watch it, but I haven't yet.
I listened to a podcast or whatever yesterday, a stream about it, and it talked about this 1800s writer that came up with the first part of the theory. And there's something known as the King in Yellow. I might still have it in my history. Oh, yeah, the dark mythos that inspired Lovecraft and True Detective. I'll share that.
Also, I watched part of this thing called Booth at the End, and I didn't get very far on that one either. I liked Mr. Robot, though.
Oh, Mr. Robot was great. Had a lot of good philosophy. Nerdy's right. 24 needed more lasers and time travel. That's why I liked Fringe better. Yeah, J.J. Abrams has had like a lot of common themes in Alias, Fringe, Lost. He likes putting in lots of puzzles for people to work on. And lots of Easter eggs. I love Easter eggs. I will probably never watch Game of Thrones. I've heard so much about it, but it doesn't seem to be anything I'd be interested in.
It was good. The ending, I understand why people think it was disappointing. I think it was always going to be hard to write an ending when an ending hasn't even been put out by the author yet. But it was done in a way that it's very predictable if you pay attention to the first episode. They did a really predictable ending that tied in everything from the first episode. Like, you just have to pay attention. Like, Arya says, "What's west of Westeros?" And somebody says, "I don't know." And And at the end, what's she doing? She's sailing out to find what's west of Westeros, right? So it's things like that. It's very tied in. It's not as good as the books, although there are parts of the books I have to skip because no, I just don't want to read that. But it's not bad. I really like certain characters, like Tyrion. I like Tyrion's character and Arya's character. It was good. It was something to watch while I was waiting for more Westworld episodes.
Yeah, I caught a few episodes of Game of Thrones, but I thought it was like visually stunning, but I didn't see it from the beginning, and I found it really hard to follow. So just didn't get really into it.
I don't know. It's kind of like a sci-fi retelling of medieval history if you pay attention. Kind of mixed up though. Like I wouldn't say it's chronological. I'd say you'd have like some characters from different time periods kind of commingling. Do you know what I mean? But it's definitely inspired by medieval history. I will give it that.
Wildheart has a new viewer, and he's not here to answer his questions.
I know. I don't even know where Wild is.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while. I don't remember what bolillo means. News with something crazy.
Well, I'm not a Christian, and the host of this channel is not a Christian, so I don't know that we'd call it a Christian channel.
Yeah, I wrote no. It's a joke pic like mine. Just being funny. Oh, bolillo is a piece of bread. All right. Muchas gracias, mi amigo. Con mucho gusto.
Anyway, you should watch Silo.
Yeah, it does sound really good. I can't wait till it's on a free streaming service. I still have the last.
Okay, I forget. Okay, so I'm in this like super exclusive invite only place, and we only got in because we were in this super exclusive invite only place before that one got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all those, and I should probably like just upload it to Google Drive and give you access or something.
Definitely.
And then you could watch it. Because that was really, really good. And I'm looking forward to season 2.
Cheesehead really just disappeared.
Yeah, a long time ago. He said he was going to get his tea, and he has not returned.
That's some stiff tea. Knocked him right out. Yeah, I'm guessing bolillo means white bread, and that's why Cerberus is saying it is sometimes used as a slur. pero no está un problema por mí.
Would it be por me or para me?
I don't know. I haven't used Spanish in so long. That's why I try to use my languages whenever I can. Just lack of practice.
Don't get me wrong, I'm right there with you. Especially with the Cherokee. Like, there's very few people who can speak that back to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although
amo.
Serb impressed me. Serb impressed me the other day because I said a Cherokee word, but I said it with like the widest accent ever, right? Because most people don't know the difference. And like, well, most people don't know the difference. And like, he was like, "You don't really say it like that, do you?" And I was like, "No, you say it like this." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds more accurate." But like, he actually knew at least he knew that I was saying it wrong. And the word was wolf. It was nothing big. Like, I said waya because that's the way it's spelled, and if people read it, that's what they'll read. But it's not pronounced waya, it's pronounced wahya. But anyway, I was impressed somebody knew I was saying it wrong, so there's that. It also takes longer to say it correctly.
Yeah, a little bit of an additional, yeah.
Syllable, yeah, that H that H sound. And it's in there twice, right? It's not just once. It's wahya instead of waya.
Jill just caught up with chat. I'll put it back up for you. The one that's a gift for you. There you go. That's for Jill. Because you were talking about him being a habitual sniffer. Which I'm using that as code for the other things that you said.
Jill is something. I don't know. That guy is fucking weird.
Should change it to JIA, right? Maybe Jesus is alien.
Ah.
Start calling him Gia.
I'll change it back now that he's seen it.
He's still here.
Yeah, he's
Thought he left a
it.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's not up here anymore. That's less annoying.
Yeah, I think Bill Clinton was the last really good president that we had. Yeah, we had a watch party for his speech. It was pretty crazy. We were amazed at how he was actually able to read the teleprompter for the most part.
I don't know which one was more amusing, his speech or the rebuttal speech.
Oh yeah, we all made fun of it too.
Oh my god,
Little emotion.
that was hilarious.
Well, if you ask me, I'd say the last really good president we had got a bullet in the head, but you know, that's just my take on history.
Hmm?
Eh?
Yeah, you're pretty much right. Yeah.
Um,
We can definitely say he was the last great president that we had.
I think we've destroyed our own ability to have a truly decent presidential candidate. Slowly. I think we did it when we made it impossible to run without millions of dollars. I think we did it when we gave corporations the ability to use limited funds as a political voice, right? But also untraceable funds, right? All that dark money. I think we did it when we decided to build a two-party system that made it impossible for anybody else to get in. I think we actively do it now by continuing to make excuses to back that two-party system.
Yeah.
They're never gonna unbuy them, you know? And you shouldn't have to have millions to run. If the average Joe can't run, then what good is your system? And people say, do you really want an average Joe in charge of your government? Well, you know, Washington was pretty average. Thomas Jefferson was pretty educated, but he was also ridiculously poor and constantly in debt. As a matter of fact, his debt is the reason why we have the Library of Congress, right?
Yeah.
How that shit got started. The only reason he wasn't kicked off of his estate is because the people loved him that much. But when he died, his family was kicked off. You know, Lincoln, who people praise, Lincoln grew up in a one-room log cabin, right? Like, I don't understand why we think we're going to get that quality from the system we've allowed to continue today. Not that they didn't have their faults. Lincoln said some fucked up shit. Jackson was a racist lunatic. Like, he's pretty fucking sadistic. That guy was, I don't care what anybody says, he was pretty sadistic.
Is there anything good that Jackson did? I'm not that familiar with him, except, you know, his, like you said, his genocidal policies.
I mean, define good. It depends on what is your definition of good, right? I mean,
did he strengthen our economy? Did he do good diplomatic outreach? Anything?
He was a great war hero.
Yeah, but that's the past. It's not him as president.
I don't know.
Jackson was the one who finally kind of put things to rest with the French, if I remember correctly. He was one of those figures.
Okay.
Hold on, we'll see. He was only the 7th president, right? So I don't know how much he could have been doing, but let's see.
Yeah, I read his biography years ago, and now I'm like trying to recall. It's not hidden.
Me too, but you know, I just remember thinking, man, he was a special sort of fucking sadistic. People always say, you know, they're a product of their time. No, even for his time, he was kind of fucking sadistic.
Yeah, sir. Maybe we should have a discussion about who we think are the 5 best and the 5 worst presidents. I don't know if Theo Roosevelt was the best, but he's up there. Yeah, he got us the national park system, which I really like. He was a bit of a jingoist, though. He loved invading smaller countries.
I'm still looking. I looked up his presidential accomplishments, and I still haven't got past his war accomplishments before the president. So I really am looking, but apparently it's really overshadowed by all his, like war stuff.
And how see at the Air Force basic training, at least in the 90s, we were still being taught about Desert One and Carter's debacle. And so that's all I can tell you. But I'd look it up from multiple sources and then come to your best idea of what you think it is. But that is what the Ayatollah said at the time, that he was so upset at Carter because of Desert One and the attempt to violate Iranian sovereignty that, and also him, destroying the F-14s and stuff like that, like taking out the advanced avionics so that they were just structures, basically. So they were hoping that if they released the hostages for Reagan, that would buy them some favor, but it didn't really do that much. But they really hated Carter. Yeah, I'm going to get a cup of coffee.
Okay, so he required the purchase of public land to be made in gold or silver. He issued the Indian Removal Act. I think he let the charter of the Bank of the U.S. expire, but I'm not quite sure. I'm still trying to get to that. Oh, I think he had to, maybe it was that he had to sign because he didn't give a clear, idea of what he would do instead. I don't know, it was weird. Something about a veto, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really say much. See, now I'm to his retirement, so I don't see any, great. Maybe he was like a Johnson president. Wasn't it President Johnson who said, nothing has ever been done so systematically as nothing is being done now? Although the Trail of Tears is hardly nothing. It was Congress under his presidency that they did reduce tariffs, and they did issue the Force Bill, which empowered the president to use armed forces to enforce federal law. His home state repealed the nullification ordinance, and was like, no, we don't like that, fuck you. And he had a big feud with Martin Van Buren, but other than that, it's not saying much about his presidency. I don't know, I guess I'd have to dig a lot harder than I can at the moment. All right, if Wildheart doesn't get back soon, I'm just gonna go. I don't know why he's taking so long.
I wonder if he fell asleep or what. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head out, and then I don't know. So catch y'all later.
Later days.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't know if just gonna leave a stream running or yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about.
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, he's sober as far as I know.
You never tell with these people. I'm joking. It was a joke. So I have a woman thing with it. Well, you know, there's a person. Just get your opinion here. It makes sense to do so. So she's been. We've seen each other before. We've like hung out in the past and whatnot. And now she's like, "Oh, I think I'm in love with you." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." I don't really think I'm in love with her, right? But beyond that, you know, I was like, "Oh, you know, we'll see what happens." And then so we have a date scheduled, and then she cancels the day of, and she like makes up some crazy excuse, and now she's sick or something like that. Maybe she is. I don't know. And then she was like, but she's still like texting me like multiple times a day, like, "Oh, I love you, I miss you," and all this stuff. But then like, you know, I can't like pin her down to actually see her in person. So I think that's suspicious, right? I don't know. Does this whole thing just sound like kind of out of whack? I don't think I need this kind of shit in my life.
I mean, that's a little weird to me, right? Like, if she was sick, that's fine. My first thought, so like, if I was honestly sick, my first thought would be to like reschedule, right? If I'm not asking to reschedule, then I have a reason I don't want to. And if I'm not willing to tell you if I'm willing to, if she tells you the reason she doesn't want to, then fine, you know, like that's something to work with. But if I'm not willing to tell you the reason I don't want to meet up, but I'm pretending like I want to meet up, then I think that's weird. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So how long has it been since you've hung out with them in person?
Like 2 or 3 years, maybe.
2 or 3 years.
No, a little less than that. It was actually no, it's been probably more like a year and a half. And then I know because it was not long before I moved into this place, and then they blocked me. Like they blocked me on all social media, like for that whole period of time.
And now they're in love with you.
Reappeared and like, yeah, I'm in love with you.
But they don't want to meet up.
Well, they said they wanted to meet up,
but they're being wishy-washy.
They're being wishy-washy, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely sketchy as hell.
I'm tripping on this.
I just keep going back to she's hiding something. And I don't know what that is, right? Like, it could be something stupid. Like, she could be really insecure about something. Like, she could have gained a bunch of weight. She could be pregnant. She could, like, but like, it could also be like something really big. And I don't know. I think that's weird though.
Well, I mean, pregnancy would be a pretty big thing. I don't know. Be a dad to some other guy.
Well, I mean, the reason I said, I guess I didn't classify that one as big is because your decision of whether or not to be a stepdad would be a big thing, right? But like, that's not something she can hide for long unless she's putting the kid up for adoption, and B, it's like, if she's pregnant, it's not like she could be like surprised you're the dad. You're gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I really have no idea. It's really weird to me that she popped up out of nowhere to tell you that she loves you. But what does she want you to say that you love her before you see her? Is that like, what is she hiding? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck at. Because as far as I know, it's like, she doesn't have. I don't know. There wasn't too much going on over there. I know it came up yesterday. A couple of years ago, I went over to see her. She had invited me over. I left a birthday party early, and I showed up at her place within like maybe a couple of hours of her inviting me, and there was another guy over there. And she was like, "Oh, my bad. I forgot that you were coming over," or something like that. I was like, "Okay." That was weird. So I showed up with like, pizza and some wine or something. And there's like another dude in the house. And she was like, "Can you come back later or something?" And then, of course, I didn't hear from her again that night. Just went and got drunk by myself. But, I figured it was like a one off thing. Like, we're friends. We're not dating. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, yeah, I told her I was going to stop by. And then, but, there was,
Yeah, I don't know. I would say, like, if some dude did that to me, I would just be like, yeah, you can love me from way the fuck over there. Just don't come any closer, okay? I think that would be the end of that one.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think it's good because I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm just trying to analyze like the whole situation and what they're doing. Get some perspective on it.
I just don't
avoid this entire
I
situation.
I also don't love when people think like it's okay to treat you like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
I don't love that. No.
Not fun.
Well, not only is it not fun, I think it says something pretty terrible about the person doing it.
Do you think
that's my opinion?
I was listening to something. Do you think it's like more like just thoughtlessness, or do you think they do it intentionally?
No, I think it's intentional. Well, maybe not intentional, because I would say there's one or two people I think maybe do it subconsciously, but it's not like. But even then, they may not realize when they're doing it, but I think they realize after, and they continue to do it. If that makes sense, because it's a pattern, right? Like, and there's a difference. Like, look, I think it's worse than all out using someone. And that's terrible to say, right? But like, if you're using someone, at least you're consistent, right? You are giving for what you're getting. There's some consistency there, right? But when you treat someone like a yo-yo, you're like, I'm going to pull you in when I need you or when I need something from you, right? And when my ego doesn't need you, then you'll not only be disposable, but I won't even look your way, right? Until I need you again. And it's that I think I'm just like how fucking terrible do you have to be? And I'm not talking about those people who are just like really absent-minded and like out of sight, out of mind, and they message you once every 4 months or 8 months and they talk to you like nothing, ever happened. So that's fine. I'm not saying like, obviously your friendships can do that, right? But I mean, just like as a person, someone who's never there for you, but always picks you up when they need somebody to be there for them, right? Like those people. I just think those people are trash. They're trash. They're terrible people. They're up there with people who use kids as pawns. Fuck all those trashy people.
I've been dealing with a lot of that lately. So, yeah, definitely. Too much emotional investment without any return.
Oh, I do that on a daily basis. I need no help there, especially from people who want to make it fucking obvious. I think I've learned my lesson, and maybe one of these days I will.
Just move on to another toxic pairing.
Well, it's not even that, right? Because for me, it's not even pairing. It has nothing to do with that. I don't know. I'm a giver. I give. I become a doormat or an ATM like ridiculously easily, and it takes me way too long to notice that they're never going to match my energy. Not only are they never going to match my energy, they're never even going to think twice about me if I'm not present, and probably if I'm not giving them something while I'm present, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know, among other things. But I also have trust issues. So maybe I'm not my own most reliable source. You never know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. That's the number one question. Can you trust yourself?
Most of the time, anyway.
I didn't mean to get all depressing on you.
Oh, I'm not depressed. I think I decided, well, I think sometimes things like that bother me, people and their shit. Sometimes it bothers me. But I think I get over it kind of quickly. Not because, well, I think it helps because I'm really restless, right? Because I can just meet more people or I can have another adventure and it doesn't matter that it's temporary because there's more waiting, right? So, I don't know. I guess maybe feeling like I don't have a landing spot is not entirely outside of my comfort zone. So that can translate to people as well as geography.
Right. Yeah. I think I tend to like let people drain me emotionally, like more than necessary. Like more like I don't have as much trouble with it in like online spaces, but like anytime I get into like, real interpersonal stuff, like just like this crazy, I don't know. I have like this obsessive mind, and that's entirely on me. Where I'm just like I'm more into it than most people, I guess. I just tend to like ramp up relationships really quickly, and then it kind of like burns it out. Because I don't do the small talk. I want to know like all your deep, intimate fears and desires and stuff like that. And people are like, whoa, like put on the brake.
See, I'll do both. I'll do both. Now, I do find small talk more draining, whereas like when we're talking and it's not small talk, like that's more energizing to me. And I find small talk pretty draining, but I'll still do it, right? When I say I'm a giver, like I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it. I don't tend to let people pay for things, right? Like not even my own mom. People think it's cute because you see me, like even when me and my mom go out, I am fighting to get to the cash register before her, right? Like it is a fight. I don't let people pay for things. I'm always the one paying. Like if, and like when Super Munchkin, when we'd go get her something and her friends were around, I'd get her friends stuff too. I'd be like, oh, let me get you guys stuff. I was constantly sending her friends home with stuff, and people would be like, I feel bad. Do I need to just like next time they go to her house, do I need to send my kids with money? And my mom like just kept trying to explain to people. She'd be like, no, like if they're there and they want it and she can get it for them, she's gonna do it. That's just how she is. And I'm that way, but I'm that way to like a fault to anybody, especially if I care about you. And so like I if there's somebody and it becomes obvious that like they have like obviously I'm always going to give more than I receive, and that's fine because it's just in my nature. I'm just a person who gives a lot. But if there's like no reciprocation, right? Like if I'm not even a thought that crosses your mind and I'm giving, then there's like a fucking problem there, right? And I think unfortunately it's an easy habit for me to fall back into, and one that takes me too long to recognize when I do.
I could see that. I've never had much financially to take, so it's like whatever. Like with partners, it's just like open sharing, but
yeah. Well, that's something that's easy to be an example of, but I'll put it this way. People would call me up to tell me about the worst moments in their life because I was the person who wasn't going to tell anybody, even if you just talked shit about me and made me miserable the day before. If somebody needed a ride or needed somebody to cry to at 4 o'clock in the morning, even if we weren't necessarily friends, I was the person you called because I was going to be there, right? And it was very well known. There are people who would call me instead of their best friend because their best friend wasn't going to get up at 4 a.m. to go get them, but I would, right? Like it was one of those, but like all the time. Before that switch flipped and I just decided you couldn't fucking pay me to care. And now I'm somewhere between the two, and sometimes I'm more one than the other.
Yeah.
I used to say I had what was called the hippie house. And that's true. If you knocked on my door, we all turned around. Everybody in my house turned around and looked at the door like, who the fuck is that? Because it was clear you did not know me. Because if you knew me, you would have walked in. You wouldn't have knocked, right? And it was like this unspoken thing. You walked in when you wanted to, you left when you wanted to. I had some rules like don't touch my bed unless you've previously asked me and I've previously given you permission. And if you eat or drink something I have put my initials on, I ask that you replace it, and that's it. Those were my rules. And people were in and out of my house. If you knocked on my door, it was clear to everybody there that you did not know me well, right? It was that kind of a like I was that kind of a person.
I've stayed in houses like that before. And like, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, yeah. When I was younger, it was kind of just understood, like, even, you know, like if you were wasted, like my buddy's mom, she had like you know, a couch on the porch. So you'd just show up in the middle of the night, and if the doors were locked, you know, then you just, you know, sleep on the porch, you know, on the couch, and it was always just chill like that. But yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
same thing, like, but they always knew, like, you know, there'd be somebody posted up on the porch usually, like during the day, and like any you know, unusual vehicle that came up the driveway, it was like everybody else like
Yeah.
knew that there was, you know, oh, there's somebody out here.
Oh, and just music. There was music constantly going. So it was back in the day, and we had this huge Bose sound system with these huge speakers, the subwoofer, just surround sound, everything. I mean, huge. It's old now, but it's still super good, because when I say this was like studio shit back in the day, like I basically had a studio. And we would connect my laptop to the TV and the surround sound system, and like there would just be like different people just sitting there, like basically DJing all day long, just people just playing music all day long.
That sounds so fun.
Oh man, I had a blast. We had a blast, and then there would be people like, I had a friend who loved art, so if we weren't drawing on each other's clothes or giving each other fake tattoos or something, you know, we would hang like this huge canvas across an entire wall. And she was really good. So like we would draw stuff and she would go in and perfect it, right? And then we would all just be like painting shit. We would just be painting shit, jamming out to music, smoking weed, just being, you know, I don't know. I had a weird fucking like hippie house. It was a lot of fun though.
I miss shit like that.
Before I was a responsible parent.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I went straight from, all right, like, because that's like right out of high school, obviously, right? Like you could tell that's out of high school, early college, all of that. And it's so funny because like I didn't have like the club scene. I didn't go to bars. I didn't any of that because I was pregnant when I was 20 and I had her the day after I turned 21. So I went straight from like the hippie house, like almost no rules, everybody in and out, just music all day and all night. I went straight from that phase to mom phase. Like there was no in between, there was no bridge. It was just like bam, bam. And it's still crazy to think about in my mind.
Yeah. I can kind of relate. I was still kind of a wild parent, I guess, you know, like well, my 20th and 21st birthday, I know I had babysitters for those, so it wasn't too bad, but I did have my kid was back, and I still had people in the house, like, cuz I had a house party with live bands and everything for my 20th birthday. So we did that, and I went out for my 21st birthday. So we were out in the city, and I got wasted that night too.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to realize it's a little bit different for a female because I'm carrying when I'm pregnant, the baby's in me. I can't like take a night off and get a babysitter, right? The baby's in me. And then back in the day, and I was breastfeeding after I had her, and that was when they said you can't have any alcohol if you're breastfeeding. Now they say you can have a beer or you can have a glass of wine or something. Back then they said no. If you're breastfeeding, you cannot have any alcohol. And so I was breastfeeding, so also it wouldn't matter if I went out, I still couldn't drink, right? So I don't know, like I missed that whole part of my.
Yeah, that's
never-
where I
never
was
had
gonna
that.
go next with that though, because like I was after my my oldest turned 3, it was around the time that that my youngest was in utero. So I ended up taking my oldest to the shows with me, a couple of them, and then my youngest, his mom went into labor with him at one of my shows. So she went into labor listening to me playing. So, I thought that was pretty cool.
I guess I did go to a bar for like a concert. I went to a concert that was at a bar, but like I've never really like, I don't know.
This wasn't at a bar technically. It was actually at a squat house. So even worse, but interesting stuff in the catalog there. Ma went into labor at a illegal music venue.
I went
in the inner
into
city.
I went into stress-induced labor after going to a funeral on my 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great fun. I remember waking up and like I didn't plan on going to a funeral, right? Before I had my kid, obviously. So, and I never made it to maternity clothes. I was a size 5 when I delivered. So, I'm trying to find something that I can wear to this funeral. I had this white shirt, and my sister had this crushed velvet shirt with a little black crushed velvet jacket that went with it. And it was stretchy, and so she let me use it. And I just remember very vividly like crying a lot, and my sister telling me happy birthday, and I wanted to punch her because why are you telling me happy birthday when like I've got tears streaming down my fucking face, right? But also I remember that day because people called me a penguin for fucking forever because of that goddamn outfit with my white belly sticking out.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was the guy's funeral that I was at. He was like my surrogate grandfather. I say surrogate grandfather. His stepkids stopped coming to see him when his wife died. They didn't bring the grandkids around, nothing. And I lost both of my grandfathers when I was really young. Anyway, he would come over and he would play cards with us and bring bonbons and hang out. He'd bring us Christmas gifts, and basically we were like his grandkids and he was like our grandfather. And so it was his funeral I went to. And then I went into stress-induced labor. And then I had super munchkin the next morning.
Sometimes you need a little stress to give you the push, right?
Oh no! Oh my God, that labor was so bad. I delivered in the OR room. Like they had the scalpel ready to cut me open and everything. Well, they did cut me, but I didn't have to have a C-section. So there's that. But it was in the OR room. Like they were ready to give me a C-section. And then I did not have one. Yeah, but that labor was something else. It was really hard. My whole pregnancy was really fucking hard. That's a big reason why she's an only child, but she's amazing and more than worth it.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a whole rough thing though. I was gonna say she was actually born early. But if I didn't have her that weekend, they were going to induce the following Monday. even though that still would have been early. I kind of wish we would have gone that route. Maybe things would have gone smoother during labor, actually. But the reason they were going to induce, even though it was kind of early, is because they said I could not gain weight. I was having trouble gaining weight to the point where she was causing nerve damage, right? Like just being in my stomach, because she didn't have a lot of room, and she would try to move, and like I had this spot on the side of my ribs that was like, you know, that numb, tingly feeling you get right before it goes completely numb.
Yeah.
I had that feeling in my ribs and a spot on my ribs for almost 2 years after she was born because it was so bad. But like when she would move, you didn't just see her hand move, like you'd see all her little fingers and everything. And so he said that she did not have room to grow. And so instead her body had started like developing, and he said that she was already fake breathing, she was already fully developed, and that like it was like safe. So that if I didn't have her, while he was out of town, he was going to induce when he got back. And then I had her. So it's weird. I don't know. She was tiny though. She was 5 pounds, 4 ounces. Itty bitty thing. Still is though. 4'9".
Oh no.
And fixing to go to college, so she's full grown. Full grown. Bless her little tiny heart.
Yeah, mine's gonna be driving this year. I'm terrified.
Oh,
She's a
16.
boyfriend.
15 or 16?
She'll be 16 next month.
Oh. So she'll be driving on her own.
Yeah.
Fun. Oh. You know what's so funny? Like, Super Munchkin wanted her license so bad, and there are times where she's really happy to have it, but there are times where she gets home and she's like, now I know why you said you felt like a taxi. I'm like, yeah. It's not always fun, huh?
Oh, that was all I did until I was like, I didn't even own a car till I was 25. I had my license from the time I turned 18. But I
Really?
was always the designated driver. I was just driving everybody else's vehicle. I loved it.
So I was in this pretty bad wreck when I was like 15. And so cars scared me quite a bit. They scared me quite a bit to the point where I was okay. I'm gonna make myself sound really ridiculous, but that's okay. I was like I used to walk everywhere, and by walk everywhere I mean it. Like if I had somewhere to be and it was 10 miles away, I left hours early, right? Because it may take me hours to walk there, but I'd get there. And then I'd walk home, right? Like this was just a thing I did. I walked everywhere I went. And I was actually 20 before I got my driver's license. And I was absolutely terrified. And the only reason I got my driver's license is because I was pregnant and I needed to get to appointments and stuff. And that's the only reason I got my driver's license. And it's funny because now I'm the one who drives everywhere. Like, well, it depends on who I'm with. But like, especially like if I'm with my mom or if I'm with my siblings or anything like that, like I'm the one who drives everywhere. If we go to a big city, I'm the one who drives, right? And that's hilarious to me because I was absolutely terrified and I refused to get my license until I absolutely had to, and I was 20.
That's funny. Yeah, I got my permit, but then I couldn't get anybody to drive with me because I had disagreements with my parental units and such. So so I pretty much just drove illegally, like from the time I was 15 till I was 18, and then I just went in and took the test. So.
Okay, see, that's even funnier because I drove when I was 14 and 15 before the wreck.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I drove a standard. But yeah, so I drove before the wreck, but that wreck messed with me, and like after that, I was like, And I was not driving when we had the wreck, anything like that. I was sitting in the back seat actually, but.
Oh yeah, we had a big wreck when we were moving. My daughter's mom and I, when we were moving out together, I was still 17 at the time, and I hadn't got my license yet. But I was driving her car. We were moving from Redding to Sacramento, and we ended up getting into a wreck. But it wasn't our fault. We hit a truck tire that had blown up. There was a fragment of it left on the road, and it got into our axle and pulled the axle out. And so the car spun out of control and went off the road. But none of the witnesses had like clearly enough what had happened. By the time CHP got there, we just told them that she was the one driving, not me. Yeah, that was a pretty big one. That car caught fire and everything. Luckily, there were like no other vehicles involved. It hit the tire and spun out of control and went into the center median.
I don't know what my worst wreck was. Probably the one that rolled multiple times.
Yeah.
Those contusions, I had like full body contusions. That did not feel good. I'm just saying that did not feel good at all.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've never had a vehicle roll. I've had them, spin out of control a couple times like that. When I was a kid, I was laying down in the back seat. We were in Colorado, so we were up this big hill, and there was a 4-wheel truck coming down, and it went right over the top of our vehicle, crushed the whole roof and everything. But I was just a little kid laying down in the back seat, so but yeah, that was crazy. Kind of remember that one.
I don't know.
I almost. What were you gonna say?
Of all the wrecks I've been in, I think I was only driving for. Well, okay, that's not true. I was going to say I was only driving for one, but that's not true. Only one that was like could even halfway be argued to be like something I could have prevented. I was driving. I was actually driving during 3 of them, but 2 of them, I'm still really frustrated about, and it's the reason I don't want to own a red car. I don't like red cars, and here's why. I always drove 2-door like sports cars, right? And my cars were always like black or gray or like navy blue, right? And one time I was in a bit of a hurry to get a car, and I had gotten this, it ended up being red, and it was a candy apple red Honda Civic Coupe. That is what it was. Candy apple fucking red. And my thought was, at least people will see me, right? No. That car got hit by, one time I'm driving my friend up the street as I'm going home from work, because I'm dropping him off to get his car at a place. I'm dropping him and his girlfriend off to get his car at a place that's like on my way home, right? It's just right up the street from work anyway. So, by the way, this friend of mine, worst alarm system ever, because I am in, okay, you know how like there's like the turning lane, and then there's 2 lanes on either side of the turning lane, right?
Yes.
Okay, I am in the lane closest to the turning lane. So this lady, all I hear is my friend go, hey, I don't think she's going to stop. And then my car gets hit. This lady crossed an entire lane to hit my candy apple red car and tell me, I didn't see you. Then, and that wasn't the only time. As a matter of fact, what finally totaled that car was, there was like it's like a T intersection. There's a street that goes straight, and there's a street that you can turn left on, right? But you can't turn right. It's a T. You're going down the road, you can take a right, but you can't take a left. Okay? So this truck takes a left. Fine by me. I also need to take a left. So I also take a left. Now I cannot back up because there's traffic going on this road behind me. Okay? For some reason, this truck decides it's just going to stop. And I'm like, I don't know why the fuck it stopped, but you know, there's traffic coming towards me. As soon as this traffic passes, I'll just whip around and I'll pass this random truck that decided to stop in front of me for no fucking reason whatsoever, right? No. This F-350 starts backing up, starts reversing out of nowhere, and I'm honking my horn. It does no good. This F-350 crawls all the way up on my fucking hood, just like destroys everything, and he's like, I didn't see you there. And now I don't like red cars, because apparently red cars are fucking invisible to everybody but the cops.
Apparently so. Well, good chat, and I guess I better get ready to I don't know what Cheesehead's doing here, but
I don't know, but it's just gonna have to run.
yeah, let nature
silence.
take its course. He's a naturalist, right?
We gave him plenty of time to come back. I don't know what he was expecting.
Well, it's good chatting with you, Pixie.
Later days.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
It's true, Tog. It's true. Anyway, later days.